Hi everyone, welcome back. Jedi here. You'll probably recognise this book from a review that I did a little while back, written by John McCann, called Build the Perfect Survival Kit. I thought I'd do a quick video for you today, following up from that review. I guess one of the main points is just to sort of say, look, you know, these things are not books that I get, read, chuck on the shelf and forget about. I do quite often go back to them and revisit them. And one of the reasons that I did that recently was behind this little kit here. If we look on page 48, 49 I believe it was, John, or even earlier, John goes into building small little fishing kits. Here he's got an Altoids kit and a little tube kit here, also with a little clamshell kit and a slightly larger one with a telescopic rod there. And sticking along the same lines that you can build these things as big or as small as you want to, depending on your needs. And as soon as I saw this one, I thought, I've got one of those, I'll try that. Now, I do quite a lot of fishing and angling anyway on the UK rivers and lakes. So I do have a fairly substantial amount of fishing gear, ledger rods, float rods, spinning rods, and all the sundries and tackle and all that kind of business. But what I don't have is a little emergency fishing kit. You know, if I know I'm going to be going somewhere to do some fishing, or I'll need to, then I'll take the right equipment. But I thought I'd build this one just as a conceptual exercise, just so that I can, you know, have something to chuck in the pack and be there if I need it. Now, I trust all of the things in here. I've used these bits of tackle many times, and it's just really what I had lying around to chuck in a kit like this. So on the outside, let's start with that. I have, I'll just show you those, 6-eyed screws, which will enable me to spread the line through those and spread the tension through a long stick if I want to make a pole of some description. And then, as I said before, it's a clamshell design, so we'll just flick the it's closed quite tight. There we go. And let's have a little look, see what's inside. Oh, that was why let's come to that in a minute. Right, so in the larger compartment, and I'll put all of this out on the table so you can see it as well, and then we'll do some close-up shots a bit later. A tool I thought would be very important, so I've put a little Spyderco bug in there. I'm more than likely going to have a knife on me, a fixed blade or a good folder. But I just thought, you know, for something for preparing the fish, skinning, all those sorts of things, cutting line, I can use something like the Spyderco bug. It fits in there perfectly. And then I've got a little Commando wire saw, which I thought would be quite useful for just cutting the poles to length if needs be. Now, I know these things need to be used in a certain way, otherwise they can become kinked and pretty useless, so you've got to be careful with them. But, you know, it's another tool that fits in there. And then I've got some bait options. I decided, if anybody goes carp fishing, you'll probably know the merits of using dog biscuit on occasion as well. Now, obviously, I can hunt for slugs and worms and, you know, all those sorts of live baits, that kind of thing, which is fine. But I just thought I'd put some additional bait options in there. And what I'm also going to do is put some things like fake maggots and fake sweet corn in there as well, just to give you some other options. Then I've got 2 bits of tin foil. Many uses for tin foil. One piece is 1 foot by 1 foot and the other piece is 1 foot by 3 foot, so I can use the smaller piece for things like lures, spinners, you know, fashion some sort of bait attraction options that way. I've got 4 of these little firefly style lights, 2 yellows and 2 orange, along with their plastic tubes, and I've got 1 little piece of shrink tube there as well. So that's the 2 larger compartments, and these things I can use either as glow tips on a pole. You could attach them to the spoons or spinners, you know, because fish also hunt by sight as well. Number of different options for those, marking your sight or swim if you need to walk off from it in the night time. Loads of different uses for those. I thought they'd be quite good. So that's the 2 larger sections, and then I won't get all of the stuff out here, I'll just hold it up to the camera. But in this one I've got a little spool of 12-pound monofilament line. That's what I use, so that's what's in there. And then in this little one I have things like bait bands, swivels, swivel clips, a few little sundries in there. And then at the moment what I've got in this one is just a selection of hooks, different sizes. Of course you can catch big fish on small hooks and small fish on small hooks, but you can only catch big fish on big hooks generally, unless you catch the dace that I used to get on the stretch of the Thames, in which case they'd eat anything. Huge great dace they were. And then on this side I have got a selection of shot, a selection of split shot, non-leaded, and also one ledger weight there as well. Now remember, I mean, I could put another ledger weight in there, but this is just an emergency fishing kit. The likelihood of me needing this whenever I go to the woods local to my house and where I live is very, very slim. Any fishing that I do, I'll just use my normal kit. This really is just something to chuck in the bag. It weighs next to nothing. It's about the size of, what, 2 Altoids tins. You know, I can just chuck it in there, no problem. And then I found this old spinner as well. Or a spoon lure. It's got a treble hook on it, probably see that. Focus, it's got a treble hook on it anyway. I can always take this apart as well and use the spoon on its own, use the treble hook through a leader or trace, and you know, live bait that way. There's lots of different options that this provides, and it just about fits in the kit there, so I thought, why not stick that in. So there you have it, a small little mini emergency fishing kit. It's not really anything that I'm going to use in anger, I wouldn't have thought. It's just literally there for chucking in a pack if I go to North Wales or Lake District or somewhere like that, and I've got something that could help me out if I needed it. Let me know what you think. Is there anything else that you would put in there? Anything you'd take out, substitute? All those sorts of things, let me know, and I'll put a couple of still shots with close-ups at the end of this video so you can have a little closer look. Thanks very much for joining me, and see you in the next video.